Hi you guys, welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and today we're going to be discussing the progress I've made on the 2023 Make a Sweater. That's not what it's called. Make Along. What's the name of this Make Along? Making a Sweater in 2023 Make Along. Okay, no, that's what it's called. Okay. I was wrong. It does happen. So this is a collaboration make-along that was started by Fiber Fun with Olivia. It is Fiber Fun with Olivia, Shannon Talks Yarn, Connie's Crafty Corner. I'm eventually going to get all these right. Ella, no catchy name, and myself. So I had originally filmed half this video and was going to splice it together with some of the updates that I had since I filmed the first half, and I just decided, forget it, we're just going to film the whole thing all at once. Heads up, Banner's in here. He's being all kinds of weird and silly and goofy, so we'll see what happens with him. He may be making an appearance, but anywho, Connie and I are definitely uploading sometime today. This will be going up on Saturday. I'm filming this on Friday, but I filmed this yesterday for you guys, but it's today for me. Anyway, the two of us are going to upload because I have stuff I really wanted to share before I get on with the next things. And then Olivia and Shannon have confirmed they will not be uploading this month. So anyway, Banner, what you doing? Foo-foo. Foo-foo McSnoo, what you do? He was laying here asleep in the purge. And now he's at the door going, hey, let me out, let me out, let me out. Anywho, all of the other channels will be linked in the description box down below. Please go check these other ladies out. They're pretty awesome. There's lots of fun things going on in their world. So definitely go check them out, even though they're not sharing with this sweater make along this month. Next month, I should hopefully have another big update, but that's future tripping. We'll see what happens by then. So, Banner. Let me go let him out real quick. Okay, anyway. So before I get on with the sweater talk, I did want to give you guys a quick update. I am hoping Tuesday to have a tutorial for my 1-inch, 1 round granny square join as you go method thing that I'm doing with the blanket that I made a stupid with. Well, it's turning into a square. It's not quite a blanket yet. I'm not sure what's going to happen with it, but the assumption is it's going to be some kind of a blanket using 1 round 1-inch granny squares. Hopefully we will have a tutorial for that on Tuesday. On Thursday, we should have a show and tell, and I'm not sure what's going to go up on Saturday yet. But we have all sorts of fun things going on for the month of June. There will be lots of content coming at you guys. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go ahead and get this filmed today, because I had already slid things and moved things around. Definitely go check out Tuesday's video where I unboxed the June Yarnable. And also Thursday's video where I started the review series for the Arkansas Yarn Company subscription, the Sock Society subscription box. Very exciting things, very beautiful things. Go check those out. On to the sweater stuff. So, if you guys are regular content watchers here, you will already be aware of the fact that I kind of derailed myself on the sweater thing. I started off with the brick sweater using this beautiful yarn. It is the hand-dyed wool ease in Lavender Honey. And I have lots of things to say. So, this is the brick sweater. I went down a needle size. I went down a full sweater size. So I'm making the large, I believe, with a size 7 needle for the base, size 6 for the ribbing. So I've shrunk everything down because my first attempt, I have part of here, is, you can see like this is where the sleeves are. This is where they were for the first attempt. These sleeve holes were going to be absolutely massive. This one, the sleeve holes hit about right here when the sweater is on, so it's a reasonable distance from underarm. As this does have wool content, if this yarn is 20% wool, 80% acrylic, I did want to make sure that I had the option to be able to put a shirt on under this. So I wanted it to be fitted, but not skin tight. I did the, you can't really tell just holding it up, but I did do the increasing, decreasing at the waistline and the hips. So it tapers in. I have an hourglass shaped figure. That does not mean, it just means that I have a distinct and a distinct with a distinct. Looking at me straight on. I am still husky. Don't worry. I is a chunky girl. I just happen to also have a very specific body shape. So I wanted this to skirt the curves of my body in a flattering way, but I wanted it, I extended the length because I wanted it to go under my fupa and under my honey. But I didn't want it to be a full tunic, like down to my knees, like my previous attempt at making a sweater with this yarn was. So we have made lots of alterations to this to get a perfect fit for me. I wish I had written everything down, but I did not. So if I want to remake this sweater in the next year, it'll be the same process of trying it on constantly. Now, I'm going to be honest. This sweater, I probably have tried on 100 times trying to get the fit right. And it's going to take 100 more times while doing the sleeves, because I would like to either have 3/4 length sleeves or bracelet length sleeves. I'm thinking about cutting the cuff here. That way, if I'm pushing it up, it's already going to be on the chunky, meaty part of my arm here, and I won't need to taper all the way down to my wrist. I do not like things, if they come on my hands, I want them to have a thumb hole and I can like fully put my hands in them, but still have full articulation of my fingers. Or I want them up here where they're completely out of the way of my wrist. I'm constantly in my regular life touching water, doing things with the cats. I need to be able to push my sleeves back, or my sleeves need to already be back. So I am thinking bracelet length is going to be about where I want to go with this instead of a full cuff down here. So I am going to have to try it on. I also, as I'm being very specific about how I want things to fit, my armhole is about right here. So it's about where this armhole is. So my armhole is about right there. I am going to want to taper it up the arm ever so slightly across my wiggle jiggle here, come to my elbow, and then start fitting down the arm, because I almost never wear anything but an undershirt, like a tank top shell kind of undershirt under sweaters, just because I live in the Southeast, if you are not familiar. And down here, we really don't need like triple layer things most of the time. Even when it's 30 degrees down here, we're just going from the house to the car, to the car, to the building. We're not like, it's not that serious. So anyway, I'd shared all this before. And last month when I did my update, I had my collar and the bottom of my sweater on Knitting Barber cables. As you'll notice, they are no longer on cables. I have not woven in my ends yet. I have not taken out any of my stitch markers yet, but I did bind off the bottom and bind off the top. So I used a twisted bind off. This was a first for me. So this has approximately 70% stretch. I did not want 100% stretch on this. I just needed between 50 and 70% stretch. I don't want the ribbing, I don't want to risk the ribbing getting pulled out around the neckline, but I did want to have matching edges. And for the bottom, because this does hit over my thigh area, I wanted to ensure that I have stretch in the bottom of the sweater and it was going to be able to fall down instead of tightening up on my legs. And I was like wearing a weird hobble skirt kind of thing where I couldn't move my legs. So I am very happy with this. I'm going to leave a link for this bind off in the description box of this video, because this was a very nice bind off. So what you do is you knit your first stitch. Before you purl, you rotate your needle towards you. Do a 180 degree turn towards you, or 360. 180 is 50%, 360 is all the way around. You do a 360 towards you, so counterclockwise. Purl your stitch, lift it over, and then before you do the knit stitch, you rotate the needle away from you 360 degrees in a clockwise manner knit your stitch, lift over. So you knit away, purl towards. But you get this beautiful stretch in the rib, and it's a nice, not overly bulky edge at the top, and you don't get separation and spread like you do with some of the other, like Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off kind of bind offs, where you can almost end up with a tulip effect on the edge of your ribbing, where your ribs come together and then at the bind off it goes bloop. So very, very pleased with this. I also, in the description box, will have a link to a comparison of 20 different bind offs for stretch. And it talks about the percent stretch you get and the percent separation, natural separation spread that you get in the bind off itself when it's in a relaxed state. It was an exceptionally helpful blog post. And I think every knitter should have this blog post pinned somewhere to where they can pull it up to see what they're looking for. Whoever she is, in the description box, go check it out. This thing is brilliant. It must have taken her weeks to do swatching and photograph everything and write everything up. It is absolutely brilliant, incredibly detailed. Definitely check out this blog post. But I kept going back and forth with a couple of the ones that she shared. And then I realized, like, I keep looking at like things that were closer to 100% stretch. But the thing is I really didn't need that. Now, this has enough structure to where I'm not worried about the neckline pulling too much. I probably should have gone with something closer to 50% stretch up here and 70 at the bottom, but I did really want those edges to match. So that's where we are on this. So it's not a huge update for the month of May and what I did with my primary sweater. However, in the month of May, I derailed myself and did, well, I'm not going to call it a stupid because it's not a stupid. I'm very happy with it. I made a whole different sweater. So this is the Rosy Tea, and this is by Two Brothers Blanket, right? I will leave a link for this and the brick sweater in the description box down below. There'll be lots and lots of stuff in that description box down below. But I absolutely love the way this turned out. So this is using Knit Picks Hawthorne in the color Skyline. Absolutely beautiful green. I did the extra large. It took, I think it was 330 grams of yarn for my size. Now, there are some things I would do very differently in the next one. I would read the pattern better and do this in rows once I join under the bust, but next time I do this, I am going to add stitches to my starting point here. I will keep the shoulder the same, add stitches to the front and back here. That way we create a wider neckline at the front. And because of the way it's worked, it will reduce the size of my flutter sleeves significantly. If I think my math is correct, if I add 2 stitches to each side, so 8 stitches total, it will decrease this by at least 4 rows of the lace sleeve, which will take it up to here on me when my arm is relaxed. Right now it's hitting me about right here. It also will bring the underarm up because it will be wider sooner. It will bring the underarm up about 3/4 of an inch, which I think will be about right to be able to wear like a strappy shell instead of a tank top underneath this. So anyway, that is completely finished. I finished this in the month of May. It has a nice, beautiful shell border to it. I definitely love the pattern. This is another one where I kept trying it on because I was trying to get a specific fit. Now, for this one, I did work it straight. I did not do any shaping towards the waistline, which is what I wanted. I didn't need any shaping at the waistline. So next time what I might do, if I get this fitted quicker, is actually add some tapering at the waistline by either going down a hook size or removing some stitches at the waistline, slowly tapering for the waist, and then easing it back out for the hip. But this would also make an amazing tunic top with a belt. So as more of that like millennial fashions coming back in and the early 2000s, early 2010s start coming in for fashion, where we're going to probably see that tunic top come back with belts. Right now we're in the big blazer thing. So belted tunics are going to be coming back shortly. You could also fairly easily make this into like a dress, like a knee-length dress. I don't know that I would take it too much past just under the knee length, but if you're willing to try this on to do the shaping for your body to create a nice ease around the waist and the hip area and the tushy, you could make a really nice dress based on the construction of this top. So I am super excited with the way this turned out. So I have now met my annual goal, or my goal for 2023, which was to make a sweater. I have now made a sweater. I should hopefully next month have the sleeves done on my brick sweater. And I have a lace top that I am thinking about going ahead and restarting in some Kobu here shortly. And that should be a fairly quick make as well. So maybe I will end up with 3 sweaters by the end of the year. Who knows? May was a very different kind of a month for me. My husband was home convalescing after surgery. Once again, if you're not already watching my regular content. So we had a lot of days where it was very chill, hanging out, watching movies, watching TV together. And I need to keep my little hands going. So that's what I did, is I started that sweater and got rolling. Now I do have, I'll grab it real quick. Two more sweater quantities of Knit Picks yarn set aside. Right now we have a Hawthorne in the speckle. This is tie-dye speckle. I did grab an extra one when it was on sale, so I'll have to blend that in because it's not the, I don't think it's the same dye lot as the other 3 I had. And I also have, this is Manatee Tonal on the Stroll Fingering base. Excuse me. And I have 4 of these as well. So I do have these set aside off the yarn wall to decide what to do. Now I am thinking the Hawthorne Tea for this, but I'm not entirely sure. And I was thinking another Rosy Tea out of this, but I'm not entirely sure. Because there are a lot of really cute fingering weight sweaters out there. And for some reason, that's what I'm digging right now. So it is what it is. I'm just going to kind of roll with the punches on that one. So anyway, I don't want to keep you guys too long. I don't want to be overly verbose, but I did want to check in with you guys because I did actually have stuff to share with you guys this month that was kind of like big progression. So make sure you check out the description box down below for the bind off, for the blog post with the 20 different bind offs in it, because that was very illuminating and I really love how that was formatted. It's a very easy to digest formulation for how to look at these things. Also for the brick pattern and the Rosy Tea pattern. I love you guys. As always, I look forward to seeing you guys real soon. Please look forward to the tutorial coming up next week. Hopefully it'll be up on Tuesday. I love you and I will see you real soon. Bye guys.